My Little Pony presents Lost in the Clouds. My little pony, Firefly and Medley flying around. My little pony, but soon they get lost in the clouds. What will they do then? The answer, my friends, is to read the book. My little pony, will open it and take a look. Will they be alone? How will they get home? We'll look in the book and we'll know. My little pony, are you ready? Here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, and just so you know, that one's Firefly and that one is Medley. It was sunset. The ball of light which had shone all day long was slipping low behind the dark green hills which surround the ponies' show stable. Now that dusk had come, all the ponies were safe at home and ready for the night. The hills and pastures were bathed in a golden light. By the time the shadow of the old sycamore tree was crossing the stable path, all of the ponies were in the stable. Well, almost all the ponies. Medley and Firefly were still outside enjoying the cool evening air. Besides, they had a lot to talk about. I'm so excited about our adventure tomorrow. I don't know if I'll sleep a wink, exclaimed Firefly as she stomped the ground with her front hooves. Just think, said Medley with a smile on her pretty face. Tomorrow morning, when our friends are still sound asleep, we'll be high in the clouds. Isn't it wonderful to be able to fly? It sure is, Medley. It sure is. In spite of her worries, Firefly slept soundly. As the light of dawn was just breaking over the eastern horizon, Firefly was nuzzled awake by Medley. She blinked and opened her sleepy violet eyes. "Wake up! It's morning!" whispered Medley softly, careful not to wake her friends who were still sleeping. In just a few moments, both ponies were outside. "It's not such a pretty morning, but I'm sure the sun will burn off those foggy clouds," said Firefly. "Of course it will," exclaimed Medley anxiously as she rustled her wings. "Come on, let's go." If their friends had been awake, their eyes would have grown wide with wonder, as they always do when they watch Medley and Firefly take off. A flying pony? Just the idea is almost too wonderful for words. I know. Wouldn't it be great to see a flying pony in real life? Boy, oh boy, I'd be speechless. There probably wouldn't be words to describe a flying pony. Except the one Mary Poppins uses, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. With strong thrusts of their wings, Firefly and Medley galloped along and lifted up off the ground. Less than a minute later, they were climbing higher, circling the show stable in wide arcs. Soon, they were lost in the clouds. For hours, the two playful ponies romped from cloud to cloud. But by the time the sun was high overhead, it still hadn't cleared away the thick gray clouds. Occasionally, they would lose sight of each other, but only for a moment. Firefly and Medley were having so much fun, they failed to notice that that instead of floating away, the dark clouds were growing thicker. The wind blew harder and a bit chillier. But even the change in the weather passed unnoticed. The two flying ponies were having so much fun, they could not see that danger was lurking in the stormy sky. Uh-oh. I hope those two Pegasi will be okay. Yep, that's what they're called. Those ponies with wings, well, that kind of pony is known as a Pegasus. If there's more than one, it's Pegasi. Just so you know. Anyway, Firefly was the first to notice how dark the day had become. A large drop of rain landed with a plunk right on her nose. When she turned and looked for her friend Medley, she discovered that Medley was nowhere in sight. At the same instant, Medley called out to her friend Firefly. "Where are you? This fog is so thick I can hardly see the tips of my wings." But no answer came back, only the sound of her voice as it echoed off the clouds. "Firefly, Firefly, Firefly. Help me, help me, help me. I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost." Hours later, Medley and Firefly had still not found each other. By now it was sunset. What little light had shone during the day was fading fast. Soon it would be dark, and the ponies would have no chance of finding each other. Although they tried to act brave, both Firefly and Medley were frightened. A cold, pale green moon rose above the clouds and cast a strange light down upon the ponies. Gee, I hope they find each other as well as their way home. Back at the show stable, the missing ponies' friends were beginning to worry. They had awakened that morning to find that Firefly and Medley were gone, but that didn't cause them alarm. They knew how much the two flying ponies loved to play in the clouds. Even when they hadn't returned by mid-afternoon, no one was upset. But now it was dark. Firefly and Medley had never stayed out quite this late. Just when it seemed that Firefly and Medley were lost for the night, Moon Dancer, that's her right there, had an idea. "I think I know how I can help our friends find their way back home." "Oh, really? What is it?" Moon Dancer galloped out of the stable, and the other ponies followed along behind. "Perhaps my glow will shine through the dark and the clouds. If I glow brightly enough, Firefly and Medley may see me and use my light as a beacon to lead them back home." "You know, that's a good idea, Moon Dancer. Good thinking." Although Firefly and Medley were still far apart, they both saw Moon Dancer's glow at the same time. Like a star on a hilltop, it twinkled up through the darkness. Using the light as a guide, the two lost ponies flew as fast as they could toward home. In a few short minutes, they landed safely on the hilltop where their anxious friends were waiting. "It was silly of us to get separated," said Medley. "We must be more careful next time." "I'll never let you out of my sight, Medley," said Firefly. "We will be safer if we make sure we stay close together." Less than an hour later, all the ponies were sheltered safely back at the show stable. Tired from their long day's adventure, Medley and Firefly were the first to fall asleep. They dreamed of sunnier days to come, where they could fly freely through the blue sky. The end. What would you do if you got lost in the clouds? And who would you like to fly with through the sky? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, my little pony, now is the time to say goodbye. My little pony, is that a teardrop in your eye? Well, my friend, I say, think of the next day. My friend, there is no need to cry. My little pony, time to say, see you later, bye. Time to say, see you later, bye.